Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie, Esther here, and today I'm going to talk to you about the Memento Moris in Dead by Daylight. Those are those special finishing moves that the killers have, and they're able to execute those on the survivors if they have met certain conditions. There's a couple perks that do it, like Devour Hope or Rancor, or you can just bring an offering to the entity to allow you to perform the Memento Mori kill on a survivor if they've been hooked at least 2 times, or if they're the final survivor in the trial in the case of the Cypress Mori. So this article on comicbook.com is an interview with the devs, and it comes to me from Dead Pikachu. Gave me a heads up that this interview took place on February the 27th. So we're going to go to the website and read all about it, and it says here, the Dead by Daylight creators have considered adding new Memento Mori kills many times. So then the article goes on to say, Memento Mori kills in Dead by Daylight are some of the game's more cinematic moments and provide the perfect scenario for a killer to show off what's set them apart from other characters. They're not exactly easy to pull off, however, since they require one of several specific offerings to be made, with the killers then tasked with meeting certain requirements in-game depending on what offering they used. Each killer only has one Memento Mori kill, with the exception of the twins, since they can split apart from one another. But what if players had the option to choose between different Memento Mori kills? As it turns out, Dead by Daylight's creators have discussed the very idea of adding new Memento Mori kills to the game. Dead by Daylight game director Matthew Cote spoke to comicbook.com when discussing the Realm Beyond updates, and said the idea of new Memento Mori kills has been talked about many times in the past. When asked if the idea was something the developers were still open to, Matthew Cote said, absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely, Cote said, especially because it's such a very clear and finite piece of gameplay. Literally, we can change the animation, we can change the camera, we can do crazy things during the Mori. It has very, very little impact on the rest of the game, because if you can create a Mori, then you have the opportunity, you do it. Whatever it looks like, how long it takes, it doesn't really matter that much, so it's somewhere where we could really play. The Memento Mori animations can't be stopped once they're locked in, so both the killer and the survivor the kill is being inflicted on have to watch things play out. For killers like Freddy Krueger, who's known as the Nightmare in Dead by Daylight, for example, he drives his claws through the back of the targeted survivor. Leatherface, who's known as the Cannibal, does the same with his chainsaw, and original killers like the Plague use part of their signature abilities to finish off the survivor. Vomit shower. The common thread between these is that they all highlight unique parts of the killer's kits. Dave Richard, the creative director on Dead by Daylight, said the addition of new Memento Mori kills isn't a priority right now, but added that it'd be super dope to see them added. I think that's the end of the article. And it just goes on to say here, the comic book is owned by CBS Interactive, a division of Viacom CBS. Okay. One of the first things I want to point out is Matthew's doing press right now here on February the 27th with CBS Viacom's Comic Book Gaming, and I'm pretty sure they're talking about the new chapter. But anyway, aside from that, let's go back to the matter at hand, which is the Moris. I have for a long time said that I think that the devs are leaving money on the table by not offering Mori kits that people can buy in the cosmetic shop. I don't know the statistics exactly, but given that killers can only see themselves in first person until the trial ends, or at the very beginning when you load in, you don't really get to appreciate the cosmetics that you wear as a killer because you can't see them. So I would hazard a guess that I think that survivor cosmetics outweigh the sales of killer cosmetics in the store. I could be completely wrong about that, but I feel like survivor cosmetics probably sell more because the survivors are in third person and they can see their cosmetic options much more readily than a killer can. If a killer dresses up fancy, they're doing it basically for the benefit of the survivors to see it because they can't see it themselves. However, As we see many of the new killers who have been brought in, I think I can't even remember the last time that we had a first-person Mori for a killer. All of the Moris have been third-person lately. So if you could see another Mori, you would want to do that. I think those would sell very, very well. Now, why has this taken so long to come out? And even here it says it's not a priority, so we don't know when it's going to happen. I would say that they've only recently changed the conditions of the Mori, where a survivor has to be hooked twice before you can Mori them, except for those instances where it's like Rancor or the Cypress, where you're the last survivor in the trial. But generally, like for the Ebony and the Ivory Mori, the survivors have to be hooked twice before you can Mori them at all. They would be facing their death hook. So before that, you could Mori people coming off first hook, no problem. So I think that's something that has slowed it down, because I believe that if you were to offer new Moris to people, you would see a whole lot more Moris in the game. In the previous conditions, there would be a lot of people who were getting Mori'd off of first hook. And hey, couldn't you blame the killers for doing it? They paid money to get those new Moris. They'd want to show them off. They'd want to be like, look at me, I'm fancy, I'm flexing on you, I got the new Mori, I'm gonna kill you like this. And I wouldn't blame killers for wanting to perform Moris more often if they had spent money on them. So I think the first step towards getting new Moris was instituting these Mori changes, because otherwise it was just going to be a bloodbath all day long for survivors, with people out there flexing the new Moris on the killers over and over and over again. So the first step is to make sure that, for the most part, these conditions exist where someone is facing death hook before they get Mori. That slows down the potential for a Mori a whole lot more. And now I think it's time. I think it's time to really consider bringing out these extra Moris. I think it would add more fun to the game for the killer and the survivor. I always said, oh, I don't care. Before the Mori changes came, I always said, oh, I don't care about getting Mori. It's just part of the game. You just have to, like it and lump it. And it's nothing you can do about it. If you get Mori'd off first hook, that's just the way it is. But now that they have changed it, and most of the time, except for these conditions with Devour Hope and things like that, that I'm only getting Mori'd when I'm facing death hook anyway, it's given me so much more of an appreciation for these finishing move kills on these killers killing me as a survivor, that I just think, wow, I'm getting Mori'd. That's so cool. It makes me appreciate getting killed more, which is weird to say, but you take a step back and you're like, I'm dead anyway. They could just hook me and it's over. And instead, Bubba revs that chainsaw and drives it through my body and raises it up. I would love to see more of it. I think that the devs are definitely leaving money on the table by not creating more of these Moris and putting them in the shop for the killers to add to their kits. So, sounds like it's still something that they're considering. So, let's hear from you. I'll put a poll up on the community page. You let me know what you think. If you were a killer, would you buy additional Moris? And put that into context for me. Are you someone who buys cosmetics, or you don't buy cosmetics because you can't see them because you play killer in first person, but you would buy a Mori? That's the kind of stuff I want to hear from you, how you feel about it. Survivor mains out there, are you fearful that if there were more Moris choices available in the game that you would get Mori'd more? How do you feel about it as a survivor main? These are the kind of things we want to talk about in an open discussion about this, and maybe some devs will read through it and see what y'all have to say about it, and maybe accelerate the process on bringing more Moris into the game. So that's an interesting little bit of news I have for you today, and I'm going to leave you with that. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to take care of each other in and out of the fog. Unless you got a Mori, and then just rip that saw open and... Alright. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.